Good evening, everybody. I'm here on a very serious matter tonight, and I've been called upon to give my opinion about it. And I have actually known about this incident for 3 years, and I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm talking about with this, and only half of it has come out. In fact, not even half of it has come out. So, to American viewers out there, I need to explain exactly the relevance of this to our society. Some people have said it doesn't matter, but it does matter a lot. Now, there's an entertainer in Britain. He's been sort of around for about 40 odd years. I remember he started on Swap Shop or something in about 1985. Now, this man, Phillip Schofield, he's he came out as gay in 2020, and anyway, at the time, it was like, oh, why have you come out as gay? Because if you come out as gay on TV, then you've got to be forced to come out gay. And this was another thing. In the 21st century, somebody coming out as gay as if it's a big deal is a disgrace to the gay community, basically, because it's just saying I'm ashamed to be gay. And nobody should be that in this day and age. I mean, I'd be ashamed to be gay, but I'm not a puff, so it doesn't matter. But like I said, he is a disgrace, but he was lauded at the time. And anyway, listen, I want to tell you who this guy is. For the last 20 years, 21 years, he's been on a TV program called, I think it's either Good Morning Britain or This Morning, something like that. It's like a daytime show. I think it goes on till from about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 12:30, something like that. I don't actually watch it. I mean, I've been working all the way through COVID, so I'm not around. I wasn't around at that time of day. And if I had the chance, I wouldn't watch it because it's what they call light entertainment, and you don't need light entertainment. It's got little segments. Or we're going to have like Robert De Niro coming in today, and he's going to talk about his love of cooking. Or we're going to go and have a pet section, or we've got a cookery section, that sort of bullshit. Or we're going to go out on the street and ask people really boring questions like, do you like men in tight trousers? It's really stupid. Idiot entertainment, sort of entertainment for people who just sit there all day and don't do fuck all. Those people who just sit there and watch anything. Anyway. So he's been, and listen, the reason why Schofield, because by the way, he's been supposedly happily married for 27 years as well. I want to tell you a little bit about Phillip Schofield. He looks sort of like an enthusiastic waiter. The sort of way I hope Philip comes to our table. He's ever so funny. He's such a nice bloke. And this is the thing, he's popular with, he's not threatening to guys. You could say he might be straight. He's probably straight. He's not gay, but he could be gay. But I don't really give a shit because I don't feel like I'm in danger when my wife's around with him. A sort of a bubbly chap. And anyway, this was his great pull. Good for families. In fact, ITV, because if you're in America, we've got the BBC, the two main channels. We've got 4 or 5 channels, but the main channels have always been the BBC, BBC One, and ITV. Now, you get the big names on, say, Saturday night or whatever with these sort of entertainers, and if you're the big name, you can do 2 or 3 shows, and over the years we've had all different types of people. Bruce Forsyth, very popular. Larry Grayson, Larry Grayson was camp, and he was probably gay as well. But the thing is, he was like, "Ooh, yes, I'm gay," sort of bloke. So, that's acceptable for a family, a non-threatening homosexual. But we do know that a lot of homosexuals aren't like that. They could be like big builder types who want to like fuck your ass or whatever. And you think, oh, God, he's really scary, that bloke. Gay people come in all shapes and sizes. But what people want to watch on the TV is people they feel comfortable with, especially with light entertainment. Oh, he's a happily married family man. I wish he was my son-in-law, that kind of a guy. And this was what he's been doing all the time. But in 2020, he came out as gay on the TV show, or on This Morning, or whatever it's called. And he's been doing this show with a woman called Holly Willoughby, who's just sort of a blonde bimbo. But apparently she's quite evil as well. She's a sort of a non-personality El Grotto, I just want to read some of these comments quickly. Hello, everybody. I've got to try and get quite a lot into this conversation because it is going to be, I'm going to tell you some things that not a lot of people have said so far, but it is true. Yeah. Now, well, yeah, Holly's a pretty girl, but the thing is, she's an airhead. She's, but she was ideal for Schofield. Now, I want to tell you about, first of all, we come out as gay. Now, I was thinking, and also there was all sort of rumours going around, why did he say he's gay? Then it turns out there's a boyfriend. So the boyfriend, what had really happened at the time, and this hasn't come out till just now, and this isn't the half of the story. This week, it all blew up. Everything. But we're going to try and start off from where he was coming out as gay. So anyway, he said on his own TV show, "I'm gay," and I couldn't hold it back. Now, hardly a mention of his wife of 27 years. Now, a lot of people said at the time, well, fancy saying that, fancy deceiving your wife of 27 years. But I'll tell you something else, right? There's another couple called Ant and Dec. Now, I've got to think of my legal standing here, but fuck it, I won't. But this Ant and Dec, they're very popular on ITV as well. They do a lot of programs, just like Schofield does. And these people are also, oh, I'd love him as my son-in-law sort of guys. But my sister said, God rest her soul, when she saw they had a sort of a joint wedding, both Ant and Dec. And these guys had been like actors on TV from when they were children on a show called Biker Grove. But they've become sort of like very popular, and they have these ITV awards every year, and the same people always win it. So anyway, these guys, right, went on their wedding day. You'd think, oh, you'll be kissing and squeezing your wife and everything. And if you look at their wedding photos, they're barely even looking at the women they're walking down the aisle with. Sort of go, ooh, keep away from me. Ooh, you're a woman. Ooh, you got a ninja. Do you know what I mean? So these two are obviously gay. They are gay, but they haven't come out yet. They've also got the same publicity company as Schofield, or Schofe, as we'll call him. So anyway, Schofe came out as queer on This Morning, the program This Morning, and he was like crying into Holly's arms, and he's, I just couldn't live this lie anymore, and I'm just so happy to be gay. And I thought, and like I said, everybody on TV said, oh, you're so brave. Like in the year 2020, he's so brave for saying he's gay. So something was amiss. But it turns out there was a much younger boyfriend. Now, just a week prior, there was this guy, and he's called Matthew McGreedy. And now Schofield was born in the 50s. He's about 63, 64. And Anyway, this Matthew McGreedy was born in 1996. 1996. And anyway, Schofe had been fucking him. But you might say, oh, well, he's old enough to be fucked. Well, you know, and it turned out he's just admitted, like this week, because obviously he was forced to, his publicity company have dropped him. And he said, yes, I did have a relationship with a man who I met when he was 15, but didn't have a sexual relationship with him until he was well over the legal age, probably 16. But this isn't the point. Now, this Matthew McGreedy, he is the most wanted man in Britain at the moment. There is going to be millions of pounds waiting for him on the table to sell his story because the whole country wants to know. But I want to tell you something which is very disturbing, which Katie Hopkins is about the only person who has said this. But I like I said, I've been looking into it, and I knew this for about 3 years. There's a photograph out there. Now, Schofe is a patron of a children's drama group called, I don't know what it's called. It's called Getting Gay with Kids or something. Now, the thing is, this boy, Matthew McGreedy, and he was a boy, he started at this company in 2005. So he was 9 years old when he met Schofield. And then we don't know what happened, but there was another fella who's very close who also had a relationship with Schofe. Funnily enough, this guy is called Simon Schofield. Now, it's obvious that Schofe and Simon Schofield were having a relationship. Now, this Simon Schofield, who is also much younger than Schofe, he's in his 30s. He was actually very close to Matthew McGreedy, the 9-year-old boy at the drama school, which Phillip Schofield was a patron of. And anyway, he was down there on a regular visiting thing, and he met up with McGreedy on very many occasions. They had a Twitter relationship together, and they went out together. Eventually, he got McGreedy onto the show and had him as a presenter. Now, this boy just buffed up out of nowhere on a mainstream early morning TV show. You know, wouldn't we all love that opportunity? But no, this young boy got the job, and with it, and it was well known within this circle that he was getting bummed by Schofe. And he was probably getting bummed by Simon Schofe as well. Now, there's another Schofield coming into it. Schofe's brother, Phillip Schofield's brother, worked at the police station, and in the last year, he's been going through something where he's been touching up young boys. Now, he's just been sent down for 12 years for touching up young boys. Now, the thing is, Schofe has all of a sudden turned his back on him. But then Holly Willoughby, who he's on the chair with in the morning, said, I can't go on like this because my career's in tatters if I hang around with this bloke. This bloke is toxic, and I know that he's been fucking Matthew McGreedy. Everybody knows. But because the bigwigs at ITV thought, well, hang on, because Schofe is worth a lot of money to us, so we can't really get rid of him. Now, Schofe was a complete bastard behind closed doors, an evil psychopath of a man. But, you know, as soon as the cameras start rolling, he's all Mr. Smiley, Mr. Nice. But then he said he disowned his brother, Timothy Schofield, after he got sent down for 12 years for being a dirty pervert. However, like I said, you know, some people have said oh, why is everyone picking on him? Because he just had a relationship which was perfectly legal, even if he's an older man. Now, I say to you people who have been defending him, would it be all right if it was a girl? If it was a 9-year-old girl who he'd met at that drama school and was grooming her for that position? You know, whether they had sex at 15, 16 or 18, it's irrelevant. He met that person when he was 9 years old, 9 fucking years old, and he'd been groomed by 2 people, 2 sick bastards. Now, that's the sort of thing that's on our TV set, which is why this TV program is now in grave danger. Because, like I said, your average moron that watches this just thinks, oh, you know what, these people are invited into our house because we like them. You know, I don't. I mean, I'm not that stupid. I'm not that gullible, but a lot of people are. In fact, even my mum had to be persuaded that Schofield was a pervert. And yes, it is disgusting. It's appalling, and we haven't heard the last of it yet. But I just want to put you up to date if you're living in America or whatever. This whole thing came crashing down after Schofe's brother went down for 12 years. Now, something else must have happened. The newspapers were going to blow the lid on something. Now, by the way, after 2020, when Schofe came out as gay, McGreedy disappeared from this morning. He was gone. They'd had an argument. Now, what got said on McGreedy's Twitter account was, Schofe has really fucked me over. It's all going to come out on Valentine's Day. Now, that's just before he come out as gay. Just about 24 hours. Like I said, the publicity team went into overdrive, and they went and did an NDA on this fella, because I have heard through my sources that McGreedy is actually being paid off quite a lot of money on a monthly thing, and he's actually in Spain at the moment. But this NDA is about to run out. So Schofe's people have probably said, oh yeah, well, we've got to do this and we've got to do that to stop this McGreedy talking. Now, other people have tried to be getting in touch with McGreedy as well. So Schofe started lying to the whole country. Oh, I only did this because of this. I only did that because of that. And Holly Willoughby distanced herself from Schofe. Schofe, first of all, he quit this morning. And then he said, but I'll be back for the Soap Awards. Within 36 hours, he's quit ITV altogether. He's gone from ITV. But, you know, he could still do other things. In fact, he's such a psychopath that he probably would do other things if he was allowed. But man, he's toxic now. You cannot touch him. He's a dirty fucking pervert groomer. Now, those of you who knew that already, the whole story hasn't come out yet, but it is very sick. It's very twisted. And we want Matthew McGreedy's story because it's going to be the big story. I'm telling you, it is going to be so fucking funny. And as for people feeling sorry for Schofield's wife, it's like I said, it's like Anton Deck's wife. You find women, you know, the women they call fag hags, they like hanging around with gay blokes. But there's also a more sort of couch potato version of fag hag. You know, a woman who's quite happy to live a married life, but to also live a lie. Now, there's no way a woman could be married to a man for 27 years and not know that he's a homosexual. Because, to be honest with you, you're going to go out during the week. You can't say, oh, I'm late at the office every single night, because your wife's going to start saying you're having an affair with someone, you know, or something like that. You know, and not, but she knew about it. She knew all the time that the bloke was gay. But thought, hey, listen, the wanker's paying the bills, he gets a lot of money. Hey, I can just sit here and blob out and be, you know, do my own thing. And just when I turn up, or when he needs me, I'll turn up and I'll smile and I'll hold his hand. And it's disgusting. And it just shows you what a twisted fucking industry it is. And yeah, we all know it's twisted out there. You know, the film industry, TV, everyone's fucking each other over. But anyway, today, more scandal, pouring upon more scandal. Eamon Holmes, who was a victim of Schofe. Schofe got rid of him. He went to the managers and he says, I don't like that fucking Eamon Holmes. Now, Eamon Holmes, we all love Eamon Holmes. He's 100% full red-blooded man. You know what I mean? But guess what? Schofe didn't want him on the show anymore, so he had to go. There was about 3 or 4 other people had to go. Won't mention their names. But hello there, many, many, many voices. So the thing is, Eamon has said, you want a battle? Schofield, I'll have a battle with you, because today Schofe is fighting back. Schofe won't go down without a fight, but he's getting himself into more and more problems because his publicity company, and get a load of this, he's actually a shareholder and one of the management team on his own publicity company, and they've dropped him. They said, we didn't realise he was such a liar. He has no legal representation anymore. He is totally out there in the wild, exposed. But because he's a psychopath, he's going to be out there making excuses, and he's probably going to try and do some fight back about saying gossip at ITV. But all I can say to you is that at the moment, somebody's trying to do a deal with Matthew McGreedy. They would have found him. Listen, if they can find Carlos the Jackal, they know where the fuck Matthew McGreedy's been hiding for the last 3 years, with or without Schofield's money, which is going to stop anyway pretty damn soon, because when Murdoch gets his hands on this McGreedy, he's going to offer him 60 times more than fucking Schofield did. So we're going to have a lot of fun in the next few days, because this thing is really heating up. But as I said, there is no future for Holly Willoughby. There is no future for This Morning, because when something's broken beyond repair and you can't fix it, what can you do? You've just got to shut down that show and say it was seedy, twisted. It was like Rolf Harris and Jimmy Savile have been entertaining the people all through this time. It's horrible. It is disgusting. It is sickening. That's all I can say. And, well, we're going to leave it there. I'll just have a quick look and see if there's anything worth mentioning here. I know. Well, this story might suck, but it's a very good story. In fact, it is the most exciting story out there at the moment. And you did hear it from Invisible Ray quite early on. I just want to tell you that, like I said, only me and Katie Hopkins have said that the boy was 9 years old at the drama school, and we will be uploading some photographs and things later on. In the meantime, go and watch Sean Atwood and Count Dracula, because they've got quite a good show about it as well. And Count Dracula's got his own personal beef with Schofe. And we shall be hearing more about Simon Schofe as well. We won't be hearing about Timothy Schofe, because he's doing time for the next 12 years being a dirty nonce. So there we are, people. Shocking, a big scandal. It's going to get worse, but I will update you as the story progresses. Thank you very much, and good night.